Thank you very much. We've still got a little bit of time, but I can go on. Nevertheless, I am Hannah Schmidt, and I shall be your Sergeant at Arms for the day. A warm welcome to our meeting number 31. Our Toastmaster of the day, Brahm, is very serious about fun and has chosen the theme for today, Leaders in Black. We are serious about fun. And the word of the day, Goosebumps, will definitely contribute to the fun. According to the science fiction's theory or story, men in black have always protected the earth from the riffraff of the universe. But leadership speak is no science fiction. And our leaders in black also know exactly how to protect, lead, and guide us. And that we can still have fun, full of goosebumps. Toastmasters provides a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Leadership Speak is a premier club for experienced Toastmasters to become better and self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focused on leadership development with the 4 core values: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. I now have the honor introducing to you our Toastmaster of the day, Brahm Memone. Brahm is an award-winning Toastmaster for 27 years, 26 years. He was awarded the Club Coach of the Year in 2020. During his presidency at My Speak Toastmasters Club, the club was recognized as the Club of the Year 2021. That club was ranked one of the top 4 clubs globally. Brahm was the club growth director in the District 86 2021-2022. In February of this year, he was co-founder of Leadership Speak, and the club chartered within 1 week of launch. Brahm has attained the DTM designation twice, and the Global Leadership Impact Summit was a project for his 3rd DTM. Please help me welcome Brahm Memone as your Toastmaster of the day. Brahm, the virtual stage is yours.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Are you all ready for some fun and excitement?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Now let us see, put on your videos. Let's see who's got the dark glasses on, at least. If nothing else, I can see a lot of people here. I can see 007, Fabiola, perhaps Vinod Panicker, Yvonne Codrington. Do you have dark glasses there?
Yes, I'm
Percy, of course. Blofeld is right here today. And in honor of Blofeld, we will play. We have, of course, this is Men in Black, but we have characters from other universes like Gatecrash, Men in Black, or Leaders in Black. So we will make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that these people who Gatecrashed our meeting will turn into leaders. Now, the theme is, of course, Men in Black or Leaders in Black, and let's have some fun, because as we all know, leaders have to have fun. And if I can get the right slide, Leaders in Black, we are all serious about fun, absolutely. And as you know, Ralph Smedley said this, who is the founder of Toastmasters, and Toastmasters was formed 98 years ago. We learn best in an environment of enjoyment. That's Ralph Smedley. And Dale Carnegie said, people rarely succeed unless they're having fun and in what they are doing. So let's have some fun. Let loose and let's see what we can do today, ladies and gentlemen. And so are you ready? Are you ready for Men in Black? What does fun do, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it accomplishes several things. And what are those things that it accomplishes is if we are in an environment of high stress, teams that are working very hard and collaborating and so on, it creates better mental health, it creates a positive environment for the team, and it encourages better collaboration amongst the team, and the team is most likely to succeed. Hence, we have to have fun. We can have excellence and we can have fun at the same time. Would you agree? The two together can go together. Now, before I call on my auxiliary team to introduce themselves, Madam Sergeant at Arms, would you please spotlight 007, Granny
Yes,
V,
I will.
with me, and Blofeld, and with me, together with me, all three of us together, please.
Okay, I will do so. Fabiola,
Thank you very much. And so while they are doing that, this is my core team. And as you can see, 007 is right there on the screen. Woohoo! Nice bow tie, 007.
Where's Lokish?
And we are waiting for Percy to be brought in. And of course, if those who are co-hosts, please can help with that spotlighting, that'd be great. Are you still looking for Percy?
Find Percy. Percy, where are you?
Hello.
There you are.
All right.
And who's your timer?
Good. And if you can, of course, yes, thank you very much. Thank you. So now this is my core team, ladies and gentlemen. These are the people who are going to help me command the universe of Toastmasters today. And of course, they come in various different sizes and shapes from all over the world. Some of them think they are James Bond. Some of them think they are the villains in James Bond. And some behind the Iron Curtain. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask these people over here. Are they going to have fun? What does it mean to have fun and excellence? Who are they? What are they dressed as? What's their character? And of course, we will start with our timer, Mariana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. And of course, I'm a good one. I will be the one who will save everybody running overtime. And for that, I have my special cards, which I will post on at a required time. Speeches are different length. And of course, table topic and evaluation. And you will see my green light or my yellow. Oh.
Did we lose the yellow?
And we have red if you go overtime. And I will time everyone and remind you that you are overtime if you are. That's my job. And I will give you my report at the end.
All right, you'll save us from the world being overtaken by villains. Now, Mr. Blofeld, please, what are you up to today?
It will be my pleasure to prove all of you wrong that fun cannot possibly happen with leadership. We will choose some of you to answer these challenging questions. Be ready to answer in 1 to 2 minutes, if you dare.
We will see, Mr. Blofeld, because I have James Bond right here in the room. Granny, what have you got to say about Blofeld?
Well, I am the great Evaluator. I do eliminations of evaluators because I have a license to love. I melt their hearts. I melt their beings, and they flourish with excellence. I am the great Evaluator. Mr.
Would you need
Toastmaster.
these guns, my dear?
My presence melts hearts.
Oh, okay. Mr. Blofeld, be careful. There's a challenge. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now that we've known what these key players are, I've got a couple of other key players in the room here. So if you will spotlight those for me, Madam
I have
Sergeant at
spotlight.
Arms. I have Sandi Emdin here, who's going to do
Yes.
a toast. Sandi Emdin, please.
Well, thank you, Master. Ladies and gentlemen and guests, what an exciting meeting, and it hasn't even started. I love the theme of leadership and fun. Did you know that laughter releases a cocktail? Yes, a cocktail of hormones, endorphins. When you laugh, this hormone makes you feel like you have a runner's high, and it lowers cortisol, making us feel calmer, and releases dopamine, the same hormone that's released during, you know, making us feel bonded. It's like exercising, meditating, and having all the same good time. But logically, it's easier. Laughter together makes us feel more connected. It floods the brain with these hormones, same as love. Now, leaders with a good sense of humor are 20% more motivating. So with that, I'd like you to raise your glass and toast to laughter and leadership.
Laughter and leadership.
Laughter and leadership.
Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Now, we have somebody here that's watching our language, because when aliens speak, they give away where they are from, and he's going to be watching. And he's got a key secret code word for us to use. And that is our grammarian, Lokesh.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Hi, everyone. I am the word master grammarian for today's meeting. And being a grammarian, I have a role to play. I will be sharing with you the word of the day, which is right at behind me. The word of the day is goosebumps. What does it mean? Goosebumps is a condition of your skin. When you are in a cold environment, you will temporarily get little bumps on your skin. Sometimes your hair on your arms, legs will stand straight up as well. It can also occur while listening to very good music or in terrifying situation. And I'm sure in today's meeting, you have already started getting goosebumps. Next many minutes, many times, you will feel goosebumps. How can we use this? There are, you can see the meaning behind me. I'll try to be little side so that you can read this. But let me give you a couple of examples of the usage of word of the day, goosebumps. Usage one example, it is a bit chilly outside. I got goosebumps on my arm. Could be another example. I am in 3.5 feet of cold water. Goosebumps popping up all over my skin. So this way you can use the word of the day, goosebumps. Can I hear some of you at least speaking once at particular this time, can you unmute yourself and can you say goosebumps?
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Thank you.
Goosebumps.
Thank you. Together you all said the word of the day, but this will not be counted as the usage of word of the day. You have to use in your role whenever you are coming up, use it in sentence, and I will be making a note of it. I will also make a note of a good usage of English or not so good usage of it, or some filler words like actually, you know, taking a long pause, which may not give a goosebumps, but yes, with my report, I will ensure to give a goosebumps to all of you when called upon by Mr. Toastmaster. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, you've been warned. He'll be watching for those aliens who misstep, because it's language. Your words will give you away as to who you are. And then you'll be punished at the end. Mr. Blofeld, are you there and ready?
Yes, I am. To find out.
Very
who the-
good, very good. I like villains in my room. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you might look at the agenda and say you're running out of time. Well, here's my promise. We will finish on time. We'll be running a bit late here or a bit ahead here, but at 11:30, this meeting will adjourn, fully present, and all the villains captured and all the good people free. So watch what's going to happen. In Leadership Speak, this is a club based on leaders. And you say, what's so different about leaders and Leadership Speak, besides having fun like a meeting like this? Well, I say that leaders are made in between the meetings, not during the meetings. It's the preparation, how the theme is chosen and how the theme is shared amongst the key members of the team. And as you've seen, there's a common theme running of fun through the meeting and what it means and how we can use it in our daily life. My next speaker, or the first speaker, is usually called Leadership Speak. It's an educational session. It's chosen from a pathways, but it's an educational session and it's expanded. But this one is actually a professional speaking, engaging humor project. And I will ask our evaluator, and we have a special evaluator for this as well, Leadership Speak evaluator, who is none other than Bud Brown. Bud, what is the project's objectives?
Bud Brown, but known only as B, as the men in black are consistently doing. The purpose of Vinod's speech is for the member to practice developing and presenting a longer, humorous speech. And that is completely in keeping with our idea of leaders having a sense of humor. And so I give you back I'm going to be giving more feedback on that when the evaluation portion comes. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. Can I request those who have got co-host rights, like the timer and Francoise, to help our Sergeant at Arms at spotlighting, please? So if you can please help me spotlight Vinod Panicker. Now, Vinod Panicker, of course, is a guy that loves fun. He's from District 105. He lives in Dubai, and he's been a Toastmaster for quite a number of years and a professional speaker as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me. Welcome. Vinod Panicker, the secret weapon of leaders. The secret weapon of leaders, Vinod Panicker.
Thank you, Brahm. If life is a war And as a leader, we have to go to battle every day. We need lots and lots of weapons. How many of you agree to that? Just give me a thumbs up. And we have got a lot of weapons as leaders. Or to be less aggressive, I can say we have a lot of tools as leaders to influence our team. But one of the most underrated tool or underappreciated tool is called as humor. Let me ask you one simple question. In this group, just put it on the chat. How many times did you smiled or laughed yesterday? Just put in a number quickly on a chat. What can you recall? Whatever you can recall, just put it in the chat immediately. Okay, I'm getting some numbers. 3, 4, 63. Great, great, great. So let it be there. I was getting goosebumps when Sandi was giving a toast. For a simple reason that I thought she would be giving my speech. Because my speech is completely based on why leaders should have humor. And when Sandi said the leaders who have humor are 20% productive, I thought now she will be saying a lot of more things that I was going to say. But thank you very much, Sandi. My goosebump was only there for 3 seconds. It ended as soon as you ended up with the bonding and all the other things. So my dear friends, today I would like to share with you the weapon or the tool that we all as leaders can use more in our daily life, and we can integrate it. As our TMOD rightly mentioned, what happens when we laugh? The chemistry of our brain changes, right? And Sandi gave you an example of what all happens and what dopamine, the EDSO, endorphin, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all these chemicals will come up. But generally, when a person is humorous or when a leader is humorous, humor does not mean to have jokes or to make fun of others. What humor is, I will be talking in the later stage. But what humor does is it creates a vibrant and productive culture. It de-escalates tension and it lightens the environment. And let me give you a simple example. Few years ago, I was with one of my clients, and this is one of the major FMCG clients in this part of the world. And what they wanted me to do was, they had taken over a company in a nearby country, Oman. They told Vinod, we want you to go there and be the suppliers for this particular unit. And I said, if this is your company, it is much better that you recommend me over there rather than I going there. So they said, no, we cannot do that right now because the paperworks are going on for the takeover and all these things. So if you write an email communication and say that you have told me and all this thing, it will be an ego issue. Now, I understood very clearly what they were trying to do was, they wanted to show them that they were the authority and they wanted me to be there. I understood if I go there directly, they are going to kick me out from there because they will say that you are not welcome over here. So I told them, so can I send an email and write any one of your person's name saying that this was the person, means I had a meeting and this. He said no. And I said, I cannot do this. He immediately said, if you are not able to do this, then we have to think about you as our supplier. I immediately raised my hand and said, sir, now you're pointing gun at my head. He immediately laughed. And that moment, he immediately melted, the environment changed, and he said, okay, fine, you can put my name on the email. And that was done. So a simple humor or a simple observation that they were doing, I gave it back to them, and this lightened the environment. Recently, I attended a Toastmasters meeting. Now, this meeting was a physical meeting where over 30 people were there. There were more than 10 guests. And what was happening was, even though the TMOD was trying as much as possible to be funny and to do a lot of things, only 3 people were laughing. That were the ex-com, right? So rest all were sitting like this. They had no clue of what was happening. Throughout the meeting, it went like that. Then came the general evaluator. Now this guy is a funny guy, and he started by saying that the president came up to give her presidential address. It felt that just now the coronation of the queen had happened and she came and addressed the kingdom. And everybody started laughing. And he used the same method for each and every role player. So the 2 hours, that was everybody was sitting like this, what to do, especially the guests, everybody was relaxed. So humor has that power, especially when it comes from a leader. Humor is said to be an elixir for trust. It is an antidote for arrogance. So if you as a leader can implement or can apply humor in everyday life, that would really be really great. Now, let me tell you why statistically we should be focusing on humor. And remember, humor is a mindset. And again, I am saying, when I say being humorous, it does not mean being funny. It does not mean just saying jokes. It means to be present in the moment and to observe the things. Now, let me tell you a simple thing. A Gallup study of 1 million people. Gallup organization had asked the same question that I had asked you in the beginning. All the adults. How many people, how many times did you smile yesterday? Right? So most of the answers came around 3, 5, 17, 20 for the adults. Now, there is something called as the global humor cliff. And this is based on this 1 million people's data. It says that when you are a kid, 4 years, 6 years, you laugh a lot. And some of the stats from WhatsApp University that I have received, it says that a child smiles or laughs 300 times in a day. And an adult does it only for 3 to 16 times. Right? So what usually happens is, and this data shows that we start laughing around when we are kids for 4, and it goes up, and while we come back to 23 years of age, it goes down. And from that time, it really comes down, and it again goes up when you are 75 or in that particular range. Now, what happens at the age of 23? What happens at the age of 23? Usually, most of the people get into workforce at that particular time. And that is where we think that once we get into work, we have to be very serious. We have to be very focused. But I can tell you from my experience, the best managers or the best leaders are those who have created an environment. First, it should be psychologically safe environment. And second, where you can make fun of each other and feel free to do that. And that is one of the reasons that humor should be added in our everyday life. We have fallen off that humor cliff. And now we need to climb back that humor cliff as adults. And Mark Twain had rightly said, there is no humor in heaven. Humor comes only from pain. Or many comedians say that humor means comedy equals to tragedy plus time, right? So as life, I am a true believer that life is a suffering, and every day we go through a lot of things in our life, and we can observe each and everything in our life. Now, if we have to climb that cliff back again, what are the things that we need to do? That is what I am going to share with all of you today. There are 5 things that we can do, start doing to climb up that particular ladder. The first thing is, as leader, we need to know our sense of humor. So just as self-awareness, what is our strength? The same with humor. What is it that you, what is the style of humor that you use? And Jennifer Acker, the professor who teaches the course, Humor is a Serious Business at Stanford University, says there are 4 primary styles of humor. The first one is stand-up. Now, people who do this type of humor are usually bold, natural, and entertaining, and unafraid to ruffle few feathers. And we know that stand-up comedians, it's not stand-up comedy, but it's a type of humor over here. The second is sweetheart. These people are earnest, understated. They use humor to lighten up the mood. The third is sniper. They are edgy, they are sarcastic, and they are master of unexpected dig. You tell something and they will immediately backfire. We also call them witty. The fourth is magnet. They are expressive, charismatic, not afraid to be silly. What do you think your style of humor is? In which category would you fit in? In one, most of us would be fitting in 1 or maximum 2 categories. The second way to add humor in your life is look for truth. And I would recommend, or I would request each and everyone to start journaling. From today, just observe for the next 6 days of what all 3 things, just 3 things that amuses you in your daily environment. Just write it down. A very simple thing. It does not need to be something what comedians do and what all these people do. Just daily things that is happening, right? So we went to one of our friend's house recently, and this friend is completely obsessive about cleanliness. So if he drinks a glass of water, he will take a tissue and wipe it, and then he drinks it again. So he is so obsessed with cleanliness. And if you go to his washroom, you don't need to go to his washroom. When I went to his washroom, it was smelling as if we had entered some spa. All the oils and many things where the smell was coming. So when I came back, my wife told me, we have to get perfume in our bathroom. I said, perfume in bathroom? Who puts perfumes in bathroom? She said, no, you saw how his house was. It was like this. I just told her, it would be much better that we eat rose petals every night and sleep so that it immediately smells in the morning. So she started laughing and she didn't tell anything about that, and we never had any conversations, right? It was something very simple. The second thing, just yesterday, I went with my brother for shopping, and he just had a baby girl. So he wanted to buy a dress. So for men, we both were men. So we are walking. So we know that this is the entrance. This is where the baby section is. You go there, this is the counter, and you come out, right? We did that. So while we were walking out, there was there was a section where you can put your bags. So that lady called us and said, sir, would you like to keep your bag over here? We said, yes, of course. So we went and kept the bag over there, and she started asking, what is your name? What is your number? And she started typing things. And believe me, we had done shopping more faster than the way she was typing. And I told this to her, and she started smiling. And she said, when men shop, they can do like this. And what happened was, she was doing it very slow. But as soon as I said, ma'am, we did shopping more faster than you are typing, she smiled and she said the same thing. But it immediately she started typing fast, and she did the thing. So whatever things you can observe in your daily life, just write it down in that journal. Start doing that and share that with me in our team in the next meeting. That is one challenge that I would like to give. The third thing is, start small. We don't need to do big things. right? It can be using humor in your next speech. It can be, as I said, humor is a mindset. The next conversation that you have, try to add humor in there. The fourth thing is practice safe sets. Never punch down. The people who cannot reply back to you, don't roast, don't toast, or don't make fun of people who can't reply back. Now, in a high status, when you are a leader in your team, I remember of this joke that a manager tells a joke and everybody is laughing. Only one person does not laugh. And the manager says, "Hey boy, you didn't get my joke?" He says, "No, I resigned today morning." So don't be that type of person and try the jokes. Practice safe set of jokes wherever it is possible. And the last is, remember, humor is a choice. We have to intentionally decide that we are going to look at things in a different way. And whenever you feel that trigger that you have to do something angrily and respond, just think what can be it that you can do in a different way, right? How can I make the environment a little bit light over here? So the environment is not at all light, lighter right now in front of me, because I can see red hot fire and a beautiful lady looking at me through the goggles. So I would like to stop over here and give each and every one of you a challenge, that start writing in your humor journal. What are the things that you are observing in everyday life? Thank you, and back to you, TMOD.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've achieved our first mission, and that is that humor is either a weapon or a tool, and it's up to you what you want to do with humor. And there's many types of humors, right, that we can choose. So thank you very much, Vinod, for your fantastic speech on how humor can lighten up our world and how to use it effectively. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Blofeld, they are stealing your time, looks like. So let's see what we can do with Mr. Blofeld after the speeches. Here's the villain, if you remember. And do you all remember Blofeld? That's the one. It's coming up soon. But before that, we have Francoise Bowen, and she's got an incredible speech to entertain us today. And her evaluator is going to be Sharon Jenkins.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The purpose of Francois' speech is to begin developing a collection of humor stories and to present a speech that includes humor. Timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Francois is a club secretary. She's a leader. She is even the president of her home club in Antigua. And today, I'm really waiting for this one. And I think the James Bond will be roasted in this speech. And I'm hoping the James Bond will be roasted in this speech. Francois Bowen, my belt slack at Nashville. My belt slack at Nashville. Francois Bowen.
August 17th to 20th, 2022. Who will remember or even forget that night? Oh. There was a lady who decided that she's going to walk with a team of 4 to Nashville to the Toastmasters International Convention. She got her bag ready, went on her private 007 jet, and flew from South Africa all the way to Nashville. The steps came out when she landed on the airport way. Magically, a red carpet just rolled out and it went all the way to the big door of the hotel. And it flew open wide while 007 and a team of 4 in all black decided to walk in and like they own this event. Walk in and walk in. As soon as she stepped in, everybody, she looked around. She continued walking and she walked. Found a seat, dropped her bag, let her hair loose, told her team, let's teach our leaders how to have fun. Ladies and gentlemen in this room, I present to you Exhibit A. In the blue, with her team, dancing the night away. Taking it, yes, taking it, come, yes, go, go. And then, like, what? Granny B dancing like that? What? She taught every one of us to have humor, enjoy leadership in the moment. Leadership is not about being serious, like Mr. Evil. No, it's not about that, no. Leadership is about balance. Have fun in the moment. Kick up the storm. As we say in Antigua, my belt slack. And in Nashville, her belt was slack in Nashville. Loose the belt and have fun, clean fun as leaders. I mean, come on, let's be serious. Who wants to be among anyone who don't know how to laugh and come, nobody. But she decided to teach everyone and the whole world who was watching it on the internet how to have fun and rock and roll. When she was through, she took up her bag, told her team, let's go, mission accomplished. Back onto the jet. Back on, she sit down, got her headphone on, and then told the pilot, which is the district director of her area, darling, we have taught everyone leadership. Now, let us fly to our next destination, and that we will let them know the importance of flying. And I share with you her view. She looked out of the window. Next to her was her, her boo, who was looking out. Yes, 007 got a boo. And she said, thank you, Nashville, for allowing me and my team to come in and teach everyone how to have fun. She relaxed. She began on her phone and looked for the song, Wake Up, one of South Africa's R&B singers. And she sailed away in her 007 TMI private jet and on to another destination. Granny B, thank you so much for teaching us how to have fun. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Mission accomplished. Was it impossible? It was, but now it's not. Thank you. And I will now turn my color back. And let the Toastmaster of the evening proceed with today's men in leaders in Black having fun, serious fun. Bye. The virtual lectern is now yours, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much. That was very humorous, actually. I was laughing through the speech. And those of you who know Francois and, of course, Granny B 007 was a member here and in Namibia, you know what the speech was about. And if you saw the convention, it was quite apt. Thank you so much, Francois, for that humor. Amazing speech. Our next speaker is Fabiola Cleofa. And she's a recent member, brand new member, just joined this past month. And her evaluator is going to be today Nurul Munawara, who is also a past district director from District 82. Nurul Munawara, what's the objectives of the speech, please?
Yes, Toastmaster Fabiola deliver icebreaker speech for 13th time. And it's her, the objective of the speech is to introduce herself to this club because she is a newbie to this club. Over to you, Brahm.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome for our icebreaker speech for the 100th time, whatever the 13th time. Actually, Fabiola has been a Toastmaster for over 30 years, and she won the award at the Global Leadership Impact Summit as an outstanding Toastmaster. Fabiola Cleofa, getting serious, getting serious about my passion, Fabiola Cleofa, all yours.
It's time to put up makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to getting started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational meeting. Yes, indeed. That's how I was brought up, with all these shows to teach me all the languages that I love so much. You see, I come from a small island in the middle of the Caribbean, Curacao. It's in the center because we are so close to America, North and South America. We are in the Dutch Kingdom, so we are also having all the influence from Europe, especially Holland. But our language, Papiamento, has been formed from the traffic of those coming from Africa with their rich language and all the tones, trying to communicate with the merchants, Portuguese, Dutch, Spanish, and the Englishmen, and all mixed together form this beautiful language of Papiamento. You know, if you translate the word Papiamento, it literally means talking. Yes, they all needed to talk and communicate with each other. If not, you can hear all these languages mixed up, and it gives goosebumps to hear all of them. With all these languages also came all the culture. So Curacao became the center of all this. And me, as a little girl, was brought up with all these different sounds and interesting words and trying to make sense out of them. So you start with learning and hearing around you this beautiful language, Papiamento, And then you sit in front of the TV. Yes, with all these shows, cartoons, and very educational Muppet Show. Yes, there's where I got my English from. Naturally, also, in school, you are immersed at 6 years old with no knowledge at all prior to that, from Dutch to start learning. The instructional language is Dutch, so you better catch up. Otherwise, how do you learn? And then you get little by little exposed to other languages like Spanish and English. But as I mentioned, sitting at home in front of the TV, yes, I grew up with the TV also. You get to learn Spanish. And at night, when the grown-ups are listening or watching all those soaps, you catch all those. And then you develop. This has given me the passion for languages. Now I can speak 4 languages very fluently. Most of us here in Curacao also get exposed and can pick up at least 6. I can read and understand Portuguese, but I'm a little bit rusty in speaking. But I can manage to communicate also. Some would get German and French also into their formation. But this has given me the passion to learn more about languages. So I didn't get to be choosing the profession of translator, but at 18 years of age, I got exposed to be a simultaneous translator for a big crowd. There were some missionaries coming from the States, and I had to translate from English into Papiamento. And then also it continued. So 2 years ago, I said, I haven't chosen this as my profession, but what about taking that as my second profession? As I have been working 27 years at a local bank in the marketing department, I did get my certification for teaching, but I never took it up to stand in front of a class and teach. I used that to strengthen my translation. So with this, I said, yes, I'm equipped. Let's venture out. And 2 years ago, I got serious about launching my own freelance translation business. And that's how I make it fun. Back to you, Toastmaster of the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Fabiola, for that. 4 languages and fluent. Amazing. Now, by the time I was 5 years old, I knew 5 languages, but I wasn't fluent at any of them, and I still am not fluent at any of them. So English is my only language that I am very fluent with. I consider English my primary language of communication. That's the only language I can really communicate well in. Fortunately, unfortunately, Mr. Grammarian, he will let us know at the end. Now, our next speaker is going to be, let me check my agenda here. Well, oh my goodness, Rivero. He's just been to Europe for a month and is back. And we're going to hear something about that. And it's amazing, actually. His evaluator, because there were some last minute changes, you see that evaluator number 3 there has got a question mark next to her. That's because there was a last minute change and you cannot remove that question mark at the end. Rozy Rana is the past district director in district, oh boy, 114? Well, I'm guessing now. She will tell us. And a very good friend, and she was on the board advising me on the Global Leadership Impact Summit, and a very dear friend. Rozy, Rana, if you can tell us, please, the objectives of the speech.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and District 114 ETs. It's a pleasure to be here. And today, the purpose of Ray's project is for him to develop a collection of humorous stories and present a speech that includes humor. So very much going along with the theme. And in fact, following our first speaker's tip session, his project is entitled Know Your Sense of Humor. So today we'll be looking out for a speech where he has incorporated humor with anecdotes and stories. And I'm so glad I know this because when I read the title, it initially gave me goosebumps, as it might give you. The title of his project is Schiphol Security Shuffle. Schiphol Security Shuffle, Ray Rivero.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will introduce to you Ray Rivero, as you already heard, right? Schiphol Security Shuffle. Ray, it's all yours.
Thank you, Brahm. My family and I enjoyed visiting our relatives in Europe. We enjoyed and explored Amsterdam through the old city, through the canals, and then we went to visit other family in England, enjoying Cambridge and the White Cliffs of Dover. Alas, like all vacations, they had to come to an end, and it was time for us to go home. Fellow Leadership Speak members and guests, when we arrived at Amsterdam's Schiphol International Airport to catch our flight home, I heard a strange voice that gave me goosebumps. Beware the Schiphol Security Shuffle. Is this place haunted? Yeah. I'm not worried about it yet. So when we went to check our bags and grab our boarding passes, we headed straight to the security line. And that's when we realized that there was a very long line. It went straight, very long, snaking through a couple or two or three little semi-lines. We didn't know where the end was until we saw it snake out of the terminal, out the door. I had no idea if it was going to turn north to downtown Amsterdam or down the coast to Rotterdam. But we made it to the end of the line, and thus began the Schiphol Security. We shuffled through that line. We had to be sure that we could make it through. But after a while, I started to time myself. How long was this going to last? When there was a gap, we rushed in. We didn't want to be left back. We had to mind the gap. And soon I got a tug on my shirt. My son was asking me, "How long have we been in line, Dad?" An hour and a half, son. All I could do was bury my head in my hands. This was worse than the longest line to a ride in Disneyland. But we arrived at the stairs But guess what was waiting for us up there? You got it. More of the Schiphol security shuffle. So we shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. And finally, it was my wife's turn to ask, "Dear, how long have we been in line?" And I checked my timer. 2.5 hours, my dear. I went back to surfing the web on my phone, but I noticed that my battery light was about to turn red. When I checked my charging pack, it was all but dead. But wait, I see a light up ahead. There's security. 8 different stations, except only there was enough security for 2 of them. Now we have to spend more time and follow, and let me hear you all say it, the Schiphol security shuffle.
Shuffle.
Thank you. And we finally made it out of there through security into that line, alive. We went and hurried to our gate, but alas, we were too late. There goes our plane. Bye-bye. But at least our luggage had already arrived. So with what's left of the power in my battery, I called the airline to change the flight. We're sorry, sir. No more for tonight. So we booked our flight for the very next day. An extra time in Amsterdam. So now we go out the terminal and catch the shuttle to our hotel. I hope that we could rest a spell, because tomorrow morning we're back at the airport through another line of, I really don't want to go to this security line again. Maybe I'll just go take a train to another airport or take a cruise across the Atlantic. I'll even consider a rental car and drive across it. I don't care. Please, Mr. Toastmaster, I had enough of this story. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, what a horror. And I've been hearing this not only at Schiphol, in Toronto and many other airports across the world, the same problem where planes have left and the passengers have been stranded because they've been standing in line forever and ever and ever. It seems to be a common problem soon after the COVID. I think it's the effect of just coming out of the pandemic, and not many people want to work. We don't know. Mr. Grammarian, how are we doing? Are we all getting goosebumps?
Yes,
Mr. Grammarian, are you getting goosebumps?
yes, I'm getting
You are?
goosebumps. Yes.
All right, so now, ladies and gentlemen, remember, you got to get goosebumps or else you'll be thrown out of the meeting. Joking, of course. But we will have Blofeld come in very soon. On the agenda, it says a break for 5 minutes. However, I will only allow a break of 1 minute. Okay, hang a second. Let me be a bit generous. Let us be a bit generous. It's 10:30. Okay, 2 minutes break, Madam Timer. If you can time us for 2 minutes, and we'll all come back so you get enough time to get a cup of coffee or a bio break. Thank you.
a quick hello to all the guests. Gary, are you enjoying the meeting so far? Are you getting goosebumps? Talk about it for 2 minutes or for 1 second or whatever. Yvonne, are you getting goosebumps from all the speakers?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
From the time go.
That's good. That's good. Very good for you. And Marcelo, what about you?
Hannah, I'm waiting for the goose actually to start bumping.
Yeah, that goose got slaughtered.
It got cooked. Okay.
Marcelo, what about you? Did you get goosebumps here? You're muted.
Definitely, definitely. Lots of goosebumps over here, all the way in St. Lucia in the Caribbean.
Wow, that's good.
Awesome.
And Josie, where leaders are made. Josie, what about you and your goosebumps? Tell us about them. Silence, silence, silence.
Before we do that, there's a guest here who says laptop. Could you please change your name? Whoever's got a laptop. Otherwise, we will have to sort of put you in the waiting room until you do that.
Yes, please. And I see Clifton is also back again with us. Good day, Clifton. Sophia, what about your goosebumps?
All right, so I'm going to put a laptop in the waiting room because I don't think anyone's called laptop a real name, so.
And time is up, break time is over.
Welcome back from your very, very short break. And I'm convinced that our speakers have provided you with many a goosebump. And the evaluators and table topics will just enhance it. And that you are refreshed and eager to listen to the next section of our meeting. Brahm, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you. Leaders in Black, our next person is this guy here. For those of you who are Bond fans, recognize that. Diamonds Are Forever. Blofeld. He's amongst leaders in Black, and I don't know what he's doing here, but he's here. There's the character there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. First, Toako was in the finals at the World Championship of Public Speaking at the convention this past August. He's a member in Leadership Speak. As you can all see, we've got district directors, division directors, area directors, international speakers, finalists as members in our club, because it is Leadership Speak, obviously. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Blofeld himself. Let's hear his evil laugh.
Oh, look.
Yes, Men in Black. It is I, Man in White.
Welcome.
Ready to disprove you. You all say that leadership is fun. Tonight, I challenge you to prove it. I will ask you questions, and you must prove that leadership is fun while using the word goosebumps. The first question to the group. What is the most fun you have ever had as a leader? What is the most fun you have ever had as a leader? For this, I go to our trusted member, who we think might still be an alien, Sandi Emdin. Sandi?
Fellow Toastmasters, I don't know how I got this lucky to go first, but thank you. The funniest thing, I lead a lot of circles and small circles, and recently I facilitated a group of only 4, and I could tell right away that they weren't used to sitting without something in front of them, and I wanted to make it safe and have a little fun. And what I love in that role is I feel like I'm the boss of whoever's in the group. And I can see when I push them to the edge just a little, and I do that just a little, not like Brahm. When Brahm pushes, like you fall off your chair. I have a more gentle approach, and I intuitively can see where people are beginning to squirm a little bit, or they kind of want to answer, but they don't. But because gently I am leading the conversation and gently poking and crying, I have a lot of fun with that as a leader, because I see people that are totally shy or anxious. After an hour or two, they're a little bit more trusting and a little bit more confident, because the questions I usually ask to get them engaged are almost always lighthearted. Well, they always are lighthearted, and they're not the kind of questions that would scare them or give them goosebumps. They're the kind of questions, you know, that make them think and laugh and touch that funny bone in them. And so I think I have fun all the time as a leader, blissfully, if that's the word, in my work. Thank you for the question, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Curses Sandi Emdin for talking about fun. You and your funny bone. Curses to you. And so I will challenge you all with a second question. They say that in leadership, you have 3 things you can manipulate: money, time, or more people. What do you enjoy manipulating? What makes you have fun? Is it money, time, or people? To this, I go to the young lady with her camera on, who wants to be a victim. I know she does, especially when she uses the word goosebumps. Yvonne Codrington. Yvonne, tell us, what do you enjoy manipulating more? Money, people, or time?
Your question, sir. Table Topics Master, will you please repeat?
As a leader, Yvonne, do you enjoy using time, money, or people to solve your problems? What's more fun?
I would say,
Muted. Yvonne, muted. Oh, is she out?
Yvonne, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Sorry, shoot. Sorry about that. What do I enjoy most? Money, people, or time? I think that's the question you asked. Well, I would say I enjoy people. As a leader, we have to lead from the front, and we have to lead like a shepherd, and the sheep will follow. So if you don't have anybody to follow, if you don't have to lead anyone, the money and the time will be less important. So as a leader, I prefer to be with people. Table Topics Master.
Oh, what a great answer. You must be a human and not an alien. Well done, Yvonne Codrington. They say that one of the key things to being successful is hope. As a villain, I hate hope. But as a leader, you must engage hope. You must thrive with hope. You must bring hope to your group. How do you inspire hope? I don't even know who this lady is. How do you inspire hope while using the word goosebumps? Jerry Tulio. Is that right? Human or alien? Jerry?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. Hope. I think I always value and encourage hope in people. I see that sometimes people can look at things and see the negative, where I think it's a crossroad and people have an opportunity to make some choices and see that sometimes what looks negative has a positive spin to it. Personally, I've seen that myself, and I, as a counselor, have done that in trying to encourage people to not see the negative in life, but to see opportunities, to see blessings, to see that there's a world of good out there, and that what we restrict ourselves in viewing as negative can actually change and be a positive. For me, hope is what I strive for with everyone around me, to see opportunities. Back to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
No! Positivity, no! Another human, obviously not an alien. One of my quotes that I detest the most is, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. They don't know that you care, do they? Unless you show it. And so how do you, as a leader, show that you care? How do you, as a leader, show that you care? Josie Kersey, please give us your answer to see if you are human or alien while using the word goosebumps.
What a wonderful question. I just had a situation at work yesterday where I was trying to find a solution for a patient. I tried the nurse, I tried the doctor, nobody wanted to help. I don't know if it was because it was Friday and we're close to the holiday. People don't answer your phone. People don't reply to the messages. And I sat there and I thought, how am I going to resolve this problem? And I need other people's help. I couldn't resolve all by myself. So I went to the chief. And luckily, the chief was working on Friday. And I explained the whole situation. I say, please, please, you got to help me because I need to give a solution to this patient. So it took the whole day, but thank goodness we got the solution. So for me, how do I show care? I just go above and beyond. I try to get answers. I follow up with people. When I tell people, hey, I'll get an answer for you, I'll call you back. Maybe will not be today, but I will return your phone call. So that's how you show that you care, when you're there for people, when you use all the resources that is there and you don't find a solution, but you still keep on searching. You go to I went to the nurse, I went to the doctor, no one gave me an answer. I went to the chief and I got the answer. So that's how you show that you care for other people. Follow up, get the answers, get the solution. That's what we should do as leaders. Back to you.
Showing that you care. Bah humbug. Ah! And now, timer, do we have time for one more moment of fun testing? Do we? Just one? One more? Uno más?
Yes, you do. Couple more.
Yes! Another one. For this, I put you on the spot. Ram Lakhanpal. human or alien, this is your prompt. Ready, sir? The prompt is Goosebumps. Goosebumps. Ram Lakanpa.
Mr. TTM, what an exciting goosebumps I have internally, externally, but some visible and some not. What a thought goosebumps that we have today. When entering the meeting today, I had goosebumps all over the place, but some of it were visible. But I was quietly saying, I'm going to sort of hide my goosebumps, just enjoy the moment. There is so much goosebumps going around this room. It's hard to believe if you look around. If I circle this my head, I see goosebumps all over the place. Goosebumps galore. Yes, indeed. They are visible, some not, but they're there. You can't deny it. It will be there till the meeting. Yes, today's end. The meeting will go on. The goosebumps will carry on, maybe till eternity. Goosebump, Mr. TTM, back to you.
Oh, word of the day celebration. And now for the last question. How do you keep your sense of humor, especially when you're under stress? As a leader, how do you keep your sense of humor? For this, we go to somebody who's had their camera on all meeting long. Well done. Definitely not an alien. Marcela San Omer. I'm probably messing that up totally, but I'm a villain, so I'm allowed to. Marcela?
Thank you. Can you just repeat the question, please?
Yes, Marcela. How do you keep your sense of humor?
I'm one to love people, love being around people, but I also try to understand people. And what I gather while being in leadership and being a Toastmaster is that I realize that lots of people are very different, and we all have to learn how to deal with different, and particular people. So what I do is I study people on a one-on-one basis. I study how they present, how they speak, how they present themselves as Toastmasters. And this is how I learn how to deal with each and every individual on a particular basis. And I try to calm myself if things are not going very well. I calm down, and I give a little joke in and between, even when having meetings with my executives, and they try to, like, if they didn't do exactly what you asked for, and when they come to the meeting, I don't try to be too hard on them. I try my best to make a little joke here and there, get them to smile. And when I attend my meetings as well, I try to make the guests and my Toastmasters smile. So I come with a different demeanor than the person who I am, just to get what I really want going. And most of the time, it works. So I encourage all Toastmasters, every one of you here, to try to be calm, be accommodating, and try something different. And I'm sure we will get better results. Over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topics Master.
No! Jokes? Fun? You leaders in black are too much fun for me. I refuse to stay here. Ah! I take my leave. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
waiting to be spotlighted. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Blofeld. You've done well. Did you find any villains or aliens amongst these people that you've been asking?
No aliens. Curses, just great leaders who know how to have fun and bring people together around hope. Fantastic.
I feel sorry for you, Mr. Blofeld. You didn't accomplish your mission. That is because we have somebody in this room, 007, ladies and gentlemen. Before I move on to 007, Madam Timer, do we have a report for the timings of
Yes,
table
definitely.
topics?
Table topics. Sandi spoke 1 minute, 54 seconds. Ewan, 1 minute, 41 seconds. Jerry, 1 minute and 17 seconds. Josie, 1 minute, 47 seconds. Ram, exactly 1 minute. And Marcella, 1 minute and 54 seconds. That is my report.
Thank you very much. Now I will ask my club secretary, Francoise Bowen. Was the table topic poll done in the background or not? Francoise?
Yes, it is completed.
Perfect. In that case, we shall launch the poll. Hopefully it does work. Let's have a look. There it is. We've launched the poll. If you can vote for the best table topics, we will get to the speakers later on, of course. The speakers have already spoken. But for the table topics, you can vote for the best table topics. And while you're voting, I will call upon who else but the villain slayer herself. If I can find the right clip. If you can please, welcome 007. Sir, Madam Sergeant at Arms. 007, please. Capturing 007. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, 007 is the club growth director in District 74. And here she is to slay any villains that could be there and to capture people's hearts with love, because she doesn't have a license to kill. She has a license to love.
Love.
Take it away, dear Granny.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day, and to all of you that are here at this amazing meeting. I would like to inform you that I am the great Evaluator. I electronically delete villains through love. And so they melt away. And as we move on today, there are a few other Evaluators here that will share with us some of the villains they are ready to electronically remove the Evaluators. We started off with our leadership speak session. And with that, we had Vinod share his speech, but his Evaluator on that is our very own Bud. And I would like to welcome him here to share his evaluation of Vinod. Please help me welcome our very own Bud.
Thank you, 007.
And I just want to start off by saying that we of the Evaluator squad have no sense of humor that we are aware of. So if I'm not funny, then you're going to have to live with that. But I do intend to bring out the best and to share some of the things that can be improved upon for our good friend Vinod. Vinod, first of all, I loved you starting off with the guns. You shot us up and you got our attention with that prop, and that was well done. But more important than that was that during your speech, you told stories. And that is something that we learned at the Toastmasters convention in Nashville, or online, as I was, that telling stories connects with your audience. And that's something that you did. You succeeded in getting us to identify with the experiences you were describing. And then you went beyond the stories. You provided statistics and anecdotal evidence of the points that you were making in your message. And here comes my first evaluation. Thank you for that word, 007, by the way. First evaluation, and my evaluation is this. When I first started in Toastmasters, the very first day I showed up at Toastmasters, I did table topics. And the club that I was joining had a table topics evaluator. And she looked at me and she said, Bud, you've obviously done a fair amount of speaking, but did you realize that you have this thing going on with your hands? It gets in front of you, it distracts us, and it causes us to not be able to know what it is you said. I joined Toastmasters that very day because I had come to get improvements in how I spoke. And there, before I'd even joined, they'd given me a pointer on how to improve how I spoke. And so I pass this same one on to you, Vinod. And that is, you have this thing going with what I call synchronized hands. Your hands are always in front of you. They are doing the same thing. They're not even in counterpoint to each other. They're just doing the same thing. And I encourage you to use Ralph Smedley's advice to keep your hands by your side while you're speaking and only use a single hand to make a point. It doesn't distract and it enhances your speech. Now, you are very well spoken and I loved your use of language. I loved the way you described things. You really brought me into the scene. But when we come to the idea of the statistics and anecdotal evidence that you gave, and it was all excellent, by the way, I would have liked to have heard the source more often. I think you gave a brief source at the very beginning of your statistical section, but I would have liked to have heard more about the sources that you have because it gives your speech credibility. The last thing I want to get into is that when you did return to telling stories regularly throughout your presentation, and this was a longer speech, I didn't notice it because the stories brought us along, and you even ended with a story. So, in my opinion, this was an excellent longer speech. Well done. Please do something like that soon for us in the future. With Madam General Evaluator. And you're muted.
All right, sorry. You know, when you click and it doesn't click. Thank you so much, Bud, for that evaluation. And to reach out to you immediately, Bud, and to say, absolutely great job with coming forward with so many positive pointers. If there was something that I would recommend here is that when we speak, one of the important things are, can they hear you and can they see you? And I would have potentially added that the light on Vinod was not so great. There was a side window bringing a little bit of light on the one side, but I would have added that aspect as well as to just light up his face a little bit more. But further than that, you track down those villains and you villainated them. Well done on that. But thank you so much. And now we move on to our very first speaker that was present, and that was our Francoise with her very own cheeky roasting. But we have Sharon to give us the evaluation of that process. Please help me welcome to the virtual stage, Sharon, to give an evaluation of Francoise. Don't you just get goosebumps while this happens?
Oh, hold on, sorry. Thank you, Madam GE, fellow leaders in Black, and especially you, Francoise. You gave me goosebumps today. That speech was excellent. And I give you an A for it, and I'll tell you why. You injected humor, which was your purpose, throughout your speech, and you incorporated it into the meeting theme in your speech. That was super well done. You started with laughter, which got my attention right away. I hear this little kind of evil kind of laughter almost. And then you spoke and you also teased us with the date. You gripped us. You had us in the palm of your hand. Your props. Oh my gosh, you took your bag and you just dropped it. And you let your hair loose. I can't do it as well as you, but you kind of did that bit. And your face came closer to the screen. You used your face as a prop, and you provided us with the best attitude I've ever seen. It was really well done. Congratulations. You allowed us to visualize how to walk into a hotel and own it, and you did it. When you were sharing the screen with people partying, you also had the music playing and you were dancing on your own screen as if you were in the party. And I haven't seen that done before, and I loved it. Your pauses were so effective. You had an excellent presentation. What you may want to work on is when you're sharing the screen with the music, keep dancing like you were, but turn the volume down a bit, because I know you were talking, but I couldn't clearly hear what you were saying while you were dancing. So I'd like to enjoy that moment a little more. I would say just keep doing more presentations because you have an outstanding gift to share and you do it with aplomb. To challenge yourself, you use the theme throughout your speech. And I was just challenging you and waiting for you to use the word goosebumps. Everything else was perfect. Just use the word goosebumps. Towards the end, keep the energy going near the conclusion. You were really up and you had us and you were really, really energized and you had all this humor and you had us laughing. But when you thanked Nashville for letting us learn how to have fun, the energy seemed to drop a bit because you became a little more serious. I wanted to see the humor continue there. I wanted to perhaps have you tease us with that little evil, fun laugh at the end there. Keep it lighthearted and just keep having that energy, and you'll own the entire humor speech if you just add that a little bit at the end. Keep the message clear, but add a little more humor at the end. I thought it was a fantastic speech. Congratulations. I look forward to your next. Madam GE.
Wow, Sharon, you have definitely a detailed person and you have villainated so much, I would say, question marks from Francoise by bringing on so many positive things that she has done. Well done on that, because sometimes the more you focus on positive, it encourages more positive. But you definitely did have some aspects of villaination that she could make use of. And in looking at how you utilize the time to its fullness, that was also brilliant. If I had to add any value to what you have done, it would probably be, where's your humor? Leaders have fun. Thank you so much. And now we move on to our next Evaluator, which is Nurul, that evaluated Fabiola's speech. So please help welcome to the virtual stage our Evaluator, Nurul.
Thank you, G. And yes, Fabiola, yes, you brought goosebumps on me. The way that you brought your speech at the beginning with songs and music. And you kept us energized at the beginning. And I really liked the way that you introduced the Caribbean island and how it is connected with South America, Europe, and how those culture impacted the island, and how you learned different languages, and how you were passionate about learning language. I really liked that you started your speech. And during your speech, you talked about the language Papiamentu. It's a new term for me today. I learned it. Thank you, Fabiola. And you told how you used it, and the way that you told about the language, you told how language is so interesting, and how you are into it, and how you got your talent. You learned your interest in language, and how you transform yourself as a freelance translator. You translate Papiamentu to English, German, and French. What a fantastic speech, Fabiola. Yes, Fabiola, yes, English is not a first language, as you told. Yes, during the delivery, I found in certain places that you were not much comfortable, but you have prepared a lot, but not much comfortable. You could have improved a little bit more, but at the end, you delivered a fantastic speech. I am sure all must have got thrilled about your speech, about your ability, the fluency of 4 languages. Thank you very much, Fabiola. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much for that evaluation. And I know it comes a long, long way. And yes, there was a huge amount of positive that you found, and you shared it, and you molded and gave Fabiola a huge impact on that. As the fact is that she is presenting an icebreaker type speech for so many times, it would have been great to hear something, and maybe you could have mentioned that as well, about her path, connecting what she's doing with the path and why, calling on that. Thank you very much for that evaluation. And our last speaker of today was the Radiant Ray. And with a Radiant Evaluator, Rozy. Please help me welcome Rozy to the virtual stage as she evaluates for Ray.
Thank you very, very much, Madam General Evaluator. And thank you, Ray, for the most engaging story. You truly are a master storyteller. Notice, ladies and gentlemen, how Ray really used tone, speed, volume to tell us a story, and he kept us with him. we could feel the raw emotions just through the way he narrated the story. And it wasn't pure narration because he was reliving it. You could feel that through the dialogues, for example, with his son. He spoke, it wasn't in passive voice, but really exactly as if it was happening then, how long have we been waiting, etc. I also loved how you used your body language because the gestures, your facial expressions were congruent. They were in perfect harmony with your message. They truly supported your message because when you spoke of the snake, we could feel and see the snake. When you kind of talked to us, almost as a whisper, we could feel that. When somebody tugged on your shirt, you literally tugged the shirt. So, all of this, made us feel we were with you. We could feel ourselves. And with Nashville recently, with people traveling after COVID, we could really relate to, those security elements. So this was really engaging, connecting at a very deep level with the audience. Just that logical flow of the story made it easy to follow you. And that raw emotion of frustration was evident. Now, it is true that humor is found mostly in truth. And we could, that frustration was a perfect way of getting out the humor. If there's any suggestion that I want to give and areas that I would recommend that we can work, that maybe if we worked on, that would make this speech really go from good to great, I felt there were opportunities to really use your story and that frustration to bring out the humor in a stronger way. Humor is when we derail our audience, for instance. So as we are feeling your frustration, if you just derailed us with, I'm so excited now because tomorrow, guess what? I'm going to see that snake again. So then that frustration kind of becomes a twist and it's fun. Or for example, just what I needed, more time in Amsterdam. Isn't it exciting? Wouldn't you like more time in Amsterdam? So this way the audience is receiving something they didn't expect, but still tied with the theme of frustration, but you're now making the frustration fun. So all in all, I loved how you told the story. You had used your stage perfectly well, used your body language, your vocal variety. So just find those opportunities for humor, and I look forward to more and more stories from you. Well done. Thank you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Radiant Rozy, for a job so radiantly done. And if I had to look around, I would say, dear Rozy, you did such a great job there, but you're a little bit close. And if you could just be slightly further away, we could see that radiance come through much better. Well done on that. And you definitely evaluated many obstacles along the way. It gave me such goosebumps, including every one of the speeches we had here. But now let's see if those goosebumps can continue when we pull our timer off to give us a timing report. Madam Timer.
Yes, here I am. And let's see. Bud was speaking 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Sharon, 2 minutes, 49 seconds. Narul, 2 minutes, 39 seconds. And Rozy, 3 minutes and 21 seconds. Thank you.
One of the things about timing is when it comes to timer, that's the one job that I find so difficult in Toastmasters. And you've done an excellent job there. Learn to be short, sweet, and timely. And as the great evaluator of today, I would like to congratulate Leadership Speak and their team on a stellar job. if there was one thing that I learned some years ago, and that is for a club to rise up through the ranks in being a great club, it's when the members see themselves as a team. When we show up, we dress up, and we partake, it gives me goosebumps because then we're a team. And each one took part today very effectively, and we became an amazing team. And I want to thank you for that, because each one of you, I mean, we're adults, we have our lives. And it's when we bend ourselves out of our comfort zone to be part of a team that we impact each other's lives. Well done to everyone. Well done to our team leader and Toastmaster of the day that said, yep, we're just going to do this and we're going to get through it. And we surely have done quite well on that. The flow that has taken place was really good. I do see that we do have some problems when it comes to the spotlighting. And this is why we have Toastmasters meetings. These are our opportunities to learn. And that just shows at our meetings that follow, that could be our next learning focus grounds. I am delighted that villains have been evaluated. I would like to call on our grammarian to share with us. I get goosebumps. I wonder what he is going to say. Please help me welcome our grammarian.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Can I have an access of sharing a screen, please? In the meantime, I can say, Granny, the word of the day could have been we could have been, using two words of the day. One is what I have given, one which you have given. Evaluator. Several times it has also been used. So
Lokesh, just if you just hold a second. Francoise, there's a request for screen share. If you can put on screen share for Lokesh.
I already allowed him.
Okay, go ahead, Lokesh. Sorry about that.
He's muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So here is my report as a grammarian. You can see from the beginning, before even starting a meeting, Hannah has used 12 times word of the day. Before the start of the meeting and till the end, moment she got a chance to speak 12 times. Granny, 2 times word of the day. Much more than that, you have created your own word of the day too, which you have used more than 10 times, Evaluator. And I forgot to capture by other members also this particular word, which I can say the good word, has also been used by several of the members. 1R as well you have used. Toastmaster Brahm, you have used word of the day 3 times. Good words I could capture from your session is humor is a tool or weapon. You have used 1R. Evaluator 1, sorry, I could not see your name on the screen. It was B. You have used word of the day once, that too in a chat box. I was monitoring chat box as well. 2 arms you have used. Toastmaster Vinod, you have used 2 times word of the day. Some good usage I could observe is the chemistry of our brain. Humor is a mindset. Humor is a serious business. Other than this, you have used more than 10 times R's. Instead of saying leaders make, can give comfortable environment, make fun of each other. Instead, you can say leaders do create an environment where we share the lighter movements with each other. Smell can be used as a fragrance because you were referring to a good fragrance. Fabiola, 1 word of the day. So that was by Fabiola. Rozy, you have used 1 word of the day. Good words, good to great. I remember, one book is written on good to great. Derail, the another word you have used, but you have also used, more than 10 times. So you can work on that. Ray, you have used word of the day once. Guest Marcella, word of the day once. Percy, amazing. More than 6 times, almost 6 times you have used word of the day. And one good usage which I could remember ever is you and your funny bone. Sandi, you have used word of the day once. Ram Lakhanpal, you amazing. Less than 1 minute, I can say. More than 8 times you have used word of the day. Sharon, you have used word of the day 2 times. And guest Joni, you have used 1 time word of the day in chat box. So with this amazing meeting, lot of goosebumps. I can see, the red flag by timer also giving the goosebumps. So back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much for that succinct and very particular goosebump type evaluation of the words, our speech, our presentations. You definitely have listened well. And as a leader, that's exactly what we need to do, is to listen well. I would like to know, can we call up the best evaluator poll so that we can select for that? I have not seen that we have elected for the best speaker. I want to just quickly check. Is that something that we can also quickly do now?
If you can call for both, yes, that'd be great. Thank you.
Great. So the first is the best speaker. Please, can you vote for the best speaker? And straight after that will come the best evaluator. You can always see I'm not a normal woman. I can only do one thing at a time. So if my eyes aren't on you, it can't be on anything else. But as a great evaluator, while those processes are taking in the background, I would like to ask you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, in the fact that we need to be leaders dressed in black, and we need to be able to have fun, would you do the fun part and share with us who's the best speaker of the day, please?
Well, it is, I think, on the screen there who is the best speaker. And I think we have a tie between Francoise and Vinod.
So it's time for us to get an in-person meeting and find that tie and get those two on either end and see who will pull rope. Thank you. Let's congratulate them. And now it is time for the best evaluator. Please make your selection on the screen right now, and let's discover who was the best evaluator today. And while people are busy doing that, let me also click my button. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, did Blofeld get to you?
Here we go.
Blofeld, what did you do?
Always there.
You messed with my head. But I love you.
Love? We can't have love.
And the best evaluator is Rozy Rana. Congratulations, Rozy.
There we go.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, and Granny, thank you so much. Granny, one more thing before you go. How did Blofeld do in his role, and how did I do in my role? You have 1 minute max, and then I will close the meeting.
Thank you very much. In my presentation, I felt that I was touching on you, but maybe not long enough, because I was looking at time as the Toastmaster of the day. I felt you really grabbed the meeting well, and you smoothly took us through it within that pose of leaders in black and pulling out fun. I love the fact that Percy came in to just throw out the apple cart, and because you do find people that struggle to have fun. It's their character. They are serious and they get frustrated with people that have fun. I understand that. So it was, if we're going to be truly leaders, we need to bring in all aspects. And you brought it in, Farsi, and you did extremely well. One thing I might recommend there, Farsi, is what we call quality language. Instead of saying curses, maybe we could find a quality language and not put something on people, okay? That's all. And with that, I would like to just say to everybody here that I have been a Leadership Speak member. I'm one of the charter members. Yes. And it has been one of the greatest experiences for me to be with this group of people. And I've also let everybody know that sadly, I need to move on to take care of myself. And I say that in a few seconds to say, a previous friend of mine was a district director and burnt out because she loves to help people. I love to help people. And I don't want to burn out. And I've learned what I need to do is to just cut out to focus. So Leadership Speak, I'm telling you, I love you, but I'll be back.
You sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Ladies and gentlemen, and guests especially, don't go away. This meeting, I was wrong. It is a minute over. And now I adjourned the meeting, but we talked to the guests at 11:30 after we adjourned the meeting. Why do we do that? Because those who want to leave may leave, but I hope the guests will stay on.